All right, so I'm gonna work over here. Remember, it was bothering me, and I started doing some stuff. I looked at it, stepped back, and this is just not. So I'm gonna touch this up. What I want to kind of take, I like where the elbow, I like where this is. I'm just taking a look. I'm gonna look at the reference photo, even though I am getting further and further away from the reference photo. I'm starting to, create something on my own here. Let me get the cord here. As my iPad is dead. There we go. Okay. So what's bothering me here? So I did, and I'm just kind of taking a look. Did I even get it up farther enough? But I just feel like there's a hole right here. And it just looks funky. I'm not really happy with it. So I'm going to play a little bit more today. Again, I'm happy with how this, looks for right now, the hand. But it will have, I will continue. It will have, there will be some touch ups later on, where I'm just kind of focusing more on blending and focusing on putting everything together. But for right now, I'm not worried about that. I'm still in that blocking in developmental stage. But I'm looking at the reference photo. And so what I'm trying to kind of take a look at what's happening. So I'm going to get some paint on my brush. I'm going to go to line 3 here. My paint's starting to dry. I'm going to go to a line 3. I'm going to mix some of the burnt sienna and the cad red. And I'm just going to start making some marks here. Taking a look at the reference photo. Oops. And just working on getting the shape. And, what I'm thinking is that the shape is there, but it's not quite there yet. That's what's been going through my mind here. I'm going to go up to my line 4, and I'm adding information. I'm using a slightly larger flat brush here. I'm just going in, adding information. And some of the paint is, my palette is starting to dry. So it's almost time to kind of redo it. It's also because I've been using it a lot. So I've been working on a couple of paintings. So my palette has been out a lot. So of course, it is, I'm using it a lot. So a lot of it's drying. So I'm just kind of taking a look at, I'm trying to see it properly. And while I know, this is my face, and I'm not, really it doesn't have to end up looking like me. What I want to make sure is that it is proportionately correct. Like it looks like it's proportioned correctly. So I'm here making some funky marks here to try to get it to shape properly, be the right shape here. So I'm taking a look at the angle. I'm taking a look at where the elbow kind of forms. Just kind of taking a look at, what's happening here. And, I'm not going to move forward until I get it right. Most of the time, like I said earlier in the process, I do like to have all these kinks out of the way before I even get to this point of the process. But as you see here, sometimes I just don't see it. Sometimes it takes, I don't know what happens. I just don't see it. And it happens. I'm not, this is a very transparent workshop where you actually get to see problem solving in action here. That, yes, things do get wonky. Things don't work the way they want. I'm going to get a paper towel here. Sometimes I need to rework areas. Sometimes it takes a while for me to see it. So all I'm doing now is I'm just adding bits of information here. Just adding bits of information. It's definitely not as much as it is, I'm using this reference photo as a guide, and it's kind of helping me. I'm just taking a blendy brush to just kind of blend here. I do have to take some type of artistic license, right? Because it is not, I'm going to go ahead and get, I'm going to mix some of the green and the, Viridian and the blue and the burnt sienna. Continuing what I was saying, because I am kind of creating this pose, I'm using the reference photo as a guide. It's definitely not going to be the same, but I will use photos to help me kind of get a good feel for the pose and develop it and for proportion and so forth. But I also need to kind of take artistic license at some point, because it's not going to be 100% exactly like the photo. So sometimes you just have to you just have to play a little bit until you get it right. And sometimes it takes a while to get it right. I'm just pulling another brush here. I'm going to go up another value here. And yeah, my palette is starting to get messy. Add a little bit of green to that. Just continuing to add information. I'm going to go in with some of the Viridian. I'm going to go to my line 4, get a lighter value here to kind of just help create that sphere shape. Stepping back to just observe here. I'm going to get my blendy brush here to just, I'm working on this area here, the shoulder. And I think I got the angle is correct. We're just kind of taking a look. I think I just need to really get darker and deeper. Add a little black to that green and ultramarine blue mixture. I'm just going to tap in just to kind of see. And then I'm going to take my blendy brush and just soften that line there. Stepping back to observe. I'd like a little bit more glow in that skin tone. So may need to do a little glazing over here too, but we'll get there. All right, moving along here. This in the past, like something like this happening in the past, like in my practice, this is where I would probably, I would get frustrated, but this is probably a part of the process where I'd probably like, oh, I'll deal with this some other time. And it would end up in a unfinished pile. So I'm fighting, I'm pushing through what's happening here. And I'm working through it. Just continuously just going in, adding information. And it's always like when my palette starts getting all dry. Ugh. That'll be tomorrow when I kind of work on my palette and clean it up. Just kind of adding more information, getting it, trying to kind of develop that shape. Right, the elbow here, that's kind of, and then you've got another sphere shape with this part of the arm here. So we've got a shape, a sphere here, we've got a sphere there. We've got all these kind of shapes going on. Stepping back here to observe. Oh. Get my blendy brush in to just kind of blend that together. Taking a look. I think what I need to do is raise, get a little bit of the linseed oil, raise up the wrist up here just a bit. And then let me get my blendy brush here. Just kind of soften that, what I just did. Soften the lines here. Let me just step back to just observe here. I probably need to make, I don't know yet. I probably need to make some of the fingers a little bit longer. They do look a little stubby, but I think that's starting to come together. I'm going to kind of stop there and just kind of take a look again, stare at it. What I really want to do is, I want to let it dry so I can do a, let me just scroll out here and just step back. Whoa, there we go. And I think I think it's coming together, and it's fun. Here I am, I'm trying to move this up, but I feel like I didn't even get it. I feel like I didn't even move the needle. I feel like it didn't even go anywhere. I'm keep kind of pushing myself back into this little area right there. And I don't know. It keeps kind of moving downward. It's always my story here. That's why I definitely need to, I paint for like 20 minutes. I stop, I step back, I observe, because if I don't, I don't, because that's the way I've been seeing it for so long, that it just continues. I continue to see it the way I've originally seen it. So what I'm trying to move the elbow up here, but I keep, as I'm kind of making adjustments, I keep moving it back to where I had it before. And that's what's happening. Now that I step back, I see it doesn't look any different than it did before. Let me step back and take a look at what I did there. I think I raised it up just a bit. I'm just gonna make some adjustments there. Just take mine very lightly. I'll step back and just kind of see what I did there. And I think that's, I'm just sitting here looking. I'm just sitting here trying to raise up this elbow, this little corner in the elbow area here. Maybe I just need to rework, bring the elbow up a little bit more. Step back. Just kind of take a look here. Eventually it'll get there. Like I said, in the past, you know, I would give up at this point. I'd be like, oh, this is so frustrating. But I'm gonna fight through it. I'm determined to get this where I want it. So I'm gonna keep kind of fighting with it, keep playing with it. And eventually it will come together. I think I'm getting close. I'm slowly. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna take a photo of it. I'm actually probably gonna look at my arm and see what it actually does, and just see what I just want to make sure that it's proportionately right. So it's still looking kind of funky. Still needs a little bit more work. I'll do a little bit more work later today. And then I will see you here on Thursday, where I will probably do a little bit more playing around with that elbow. Usually, you know, the elbow is never a problem, but we'll get there. And then I will demonstrate some glazing as well. So happy Tuesday, happy creating, and I'll see you on Thursday. All right, so this is what I did, and I feel like the more and more I keep trying to adjust and fix this arm, this area right here, it's still not right. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to take a photo of where I left off, and I'm going to compare it with the reference photo. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you. I have it on my iPad. I downloaded or uploaded it into Procreate so that I can, draw on the screen. And I'm going to start figuring out where I'm going wrong. All right, let's get to it. All right, so here is my screen here, and got my little handy pencil here. So I have what I'm working on here. Oh, let me just go right here, and here is the reference photo. So first thing that I am noticing, yes, the reference photo does cut off the elbow, so I've got to figure that out. But first thing I like to do is I just like to just outline. Actually, let me go back. I'm going to make a new layer so I can take it away. And I like to outline the shape. All right, just outline it. It's probably going like that. But I just like to outline it and just get a feel for the shape, because something's going wrong and my creative brain just is not picking up the cues. All right, so I see that, and now I'm going to go back to my painting. Now I've been messing around with it. The arm looks kind of skinny. So I'm taking a look. And here, what's really great about this is I can just kind of make adjustments. If I'm not happy with it, I can erase and I can just kind of play out what's happening here, instead of fudging it on the canvas, right? I can just kind of figure out where I'm going wrong. So first things I like, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of measuring, the length of this arm here. And I'm pretty happy with it, but I think the arm looks really, really skinny, and it's just a little too skinny here. So I'm just going to take a look at what I outlined here, and I'm just going to try to recreate that feeling. Now, most of the arm is, unlike here, it's covered with the flowers and stuff here. So a lot of the arm So I'm taking a look, and all of a sudden it looks a lot better. Another thing that I'm seeing is the distance between the face and that arm area, the upper arm area. Well, look at how much distance I have there. So let me measure, right? I just kind of measure right there. And then I'll make a mark. So technically, it should be over, well, maybe not, maybe a little there. Let me do it again. So technically, the arm should end right here, technically. So let's just rearrange here. Let me get the eraser here, erase that, and let's see if I make an adjustment here. I'm just going to play around here. Because if I do that, what I'm seeing is it's actually, let me just erase here. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to move this over just a bit, like right there. And we'll and see, this is great. So I can just kind of go erase, rework it, and just kind of play with it. So what I'm trying to see here is and I'm just trying to recreate the shape here. Taking a look and just kind of stepping back to just see if that is, if that works, if that is, where it should be. And I can keep kind of playing around with the line here. And I think that's really why, it's just off. it's why I'm just not seeing. It's just looking really weird and funky. And it just looks like the arm is not attached to the body area. So taking a look at the adjustments I made. So literally, and I'm just going to change the color so I can show, I'm going to do it like a bright green. I need to, actually can't even see that, huh? Let's see. Let's find a bright blue here. We'll do purple. Okay. So I literally need to chop off, if I'm looking at the arm here, I need to move this arm, shift it. What I've chopped off, I need to shift it a little bit so that the distance, less distance in between from the face area and the arm area. And I think I just need to here, this is a little skinny here if you see, so make it a little bit wider in this bottom area. I think I just kind of left it there. I think it was fine on the top area, but just kind of widen it toward the bottom of the arm area to make it a little thicker. So those are my adjustments that I need to make. And sometimes it's really, really helpful to do this, to print out, take a photo of your piece, put it up against, right next to the reference photo, and just do some comparing and contrasting. And it will help you see where you're going wrong, what's happening, what's off. And usually what you think is off, it might be something completely different. As you see, really the big issue was here, was right in between. There was too much space. The arm, there was too much space between the head and the upper arm, that inner upper arm area. So I needed to kind of shift, like here, I need to shift this arm towards the head area, like so. All right, so I'm going to print this out so I have it with me, and I'll make some additional adjustments maybe later on today to just try to fix it and adjust it. And I will see you on Thursday. So this is really helpful. This really, really helpful. It's helpful. It helps you to see where you're going wrong, what you need to adjust. And I will do this all the time. Instead of just fudging over and over on your canvas, step it back a bit, compare and contrast with the reference photo. And I'm telling you, it does help you see and help you know exactly what you need to adjust and update and fix. All right. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday.